Welcome back to the Watch It, Cook It kitchen. Is this the best dip ever? The best party dip in the entire world? I don't know, but it's bloody good. If you're like me, well, you're kind of a heavy-set guy with a beard, but if you're like me in other ways, in your house you have certain things that are always hanging around in your cupboard, in your pantry. And here's a few of them that are always available in my house for some reason. There's always at least one can of corned beef. It doesn't matter if I use it magically, there'll be another one right around the corner filling in its place. I don't know how that happens. The other thing I always seem to have is onion soup powder, the mixed stuff. Always have it, don't often use it. Sour cream, generally here. Stays around forever, never seems to go off. Mayonnaise, who doesn't have a jar of mayonnaise? There's a few other things that we're going to add here that perhaps we'd have to shop for special. I've got some pre-fried bacon pieces, just chopped up bacon fried in the pan. There's often bacon hanging around, I suppose, in the house as well. Feta cheese, don't know, not always feta in the house, but today there is. We got a shallot. There's usually a piece of onion or shallot floating around we could use. Half a lemon. Who doesn't have half a lemon or less? You never know what to do with the thing, and there it is. These, not so much. Did shop for these today. Is a jalapeno pepper and a long red chili pepper. The great thing about this dip is it's extremely easy to make. There's no cooking other than if you want to do some bacon. And it's very versatile. You can add different things to it depending on your taste. So in many ways, this could well be the greatest dip ever because you're going to create it to your taste. But the basics of the dip are there. They're always going to turn out a decent result. And again, you flavor it how you want it. You do you. So let's jump in. First thing we're going to do is extract the corned beef from this can. When I was a kid, I was fascinated by the way that you got into these cans with this handy-dandy little key. The problem was, as a kid, I would always demand that I got to open the can, but I'd often mess it up, and you'd have a half-open can, and my poor dad would have to go in and figure out how to get the meat out. But these days, I'm not much better, unfortunately, but let's see. You put the little key, of course, in here and start winding like your grandmother's clock. I think my grandmother had a clock. And if you keep straight and calm, leave all anxiety behind, you can successfully extract the meat. Am I the only one that's ever struggled with these keys? Probably. What can you do? We're going to use, I would say, about... There she is. What a beautiful thing. Corned beef. Alright, so let's take a knife, and I think we're going to need about a heavy half of this. Just over half. You can always adjust it. If you really like the salty, beefy taste, put more in. If you're not so sure, of course, put a little less. I love it. And because it's salty, we are not going to have to add salt to this dip. It's going to be salty enough for most tastes. A little pepper would help, but... Now we want this quite fine. We don't want huge chunks of meat in the dip. We want it to flavor the dip as much as give it texture. So I'm going to fine chop, which is really easy to do with corned beef because it's so soft, at least the canned variety. And once it's looking something like this, we're good to go. We're going to transfer it into our bowl and smash the edge of it as we do. You get that last little bit in there. So it's going to be quite a lot of dip. You see, just with the corned beef there, it's quite a lot in there, but hey, why not? I'm going to need my cup measure here to get the right blend of our beautiful dip. So it's going to be 1 cup. Let me move this out the way and put this here. It's going to be about 1 cup of sour cream. Love the smell of sour cream when you open it up, and it's so rich. That looks to be about a cup. I'm going to slosh that in. Very good. And then we're going to do an equal amount of mayonnaise. So 1 cup of sour cream, 1 cup of mayonnaise. Couldn't be easier. There we go. That's about a cup, maybe a little bit more. Why not? Get rid of that. Man, this is so quick, but so tasty. Here we go. Slop that in. Slop it in there. Make sure we get all the last little bits. That's looking fantastic. And then your humble onion soup mix. This happens to be from Lipton's. I'm not sponsored by Lipton's or anybody else. Nobody's interested. But, hey, we're putting it in the dish, and it's darn good for this dish. And you just simply tear it at the right place in the packet, and it will come out real easy. Now, if you're not a huge fan of oniony flavors with all kinds of seasonings, it's pretty strong, then go careful. You can always add. So I'm going to use, I think, 2/3 of that for now, and start mixing until it is fully combined. Remember, we've got mayonnaise and sour cream, so I'm going to make sure we mix really well. Oh, yeah. Oh, that did not take long at all. And make a bit of noise. Always good to make a bit of noise in the kitchen. And there she is, looking goopy and special. So let's move that out while we do the little personal additions here that I like to do. So we talked about the feta cheese. I'm going to put some in. I'm not going to overpower it with the feta. I want the flavor of the beef to show through or come through. So just a few chunks of feta, but the old standby should be in every recipe in the world. Doesn't matter, except if you don't eat pork. But bacon pieces. Now, I'm going to put a fair few bacon pieces in there because I love them. And it's going to add that little crunch to the dip. Oh, man. Oh, smells so good. Let's give this board a wipe. Ah, it's all happening live, folks. Yes, the Watch It, Cook It kitchen. You can watch the cleaning as well. Just get rid of that and wash my hands. Splendid. By the way, if you're still here watching the video and you want to see it all and you want to be invited to the next time I cook, please help me out. Subscribe, leave a comment, hit the button, hit the bell, wherever they are, and join in. It's fun to have you guys around. So, what are we doing next? Oh yes, so now we are going to, I don't know where to put this so it's not blocking the view. Maybe there. All right. Clean off my knife just a little bit. Hey, it's all the same stuff. It's all going in the same place. We have the jalapeno pepper, the long red chili, not the long red green chili. Try saying that. Red lorry, yellow lorry, long green, red pepper, green pepper. All right, so we're just going to cut the end off. I don't like that pointy bit either, so I'm going to cut that off. And I am just going to thin slice rounds of pepper. I like it that way. And I'm not going to remove the seeds. Now with pepper, any pepper that you buy, it's always a question of how hot. I don't know why I didn't cut completely through these for some reason. What's that about? I don't know. It's what was I saying? So the thing with peppers is you're never sure how hot a particular pepper is going to be. Some are duds and they have very little heat at all. Others will blow your head off. So if you're brave, you'll just throw them in and you won't care. If you want to know, you got to show. Ooh. Oh. That's a hot chili. I mean, despite my face, I like it. I'm going to put, then, a few red peppers in. Let's chop up the jalapeno. I like to take the tip off and take the tail off. And again, you don't know how hot this is going to be. So with this one, let's find a good section and give it a nibble. Yeah, it's hot. Not as hot as the red. So I think I'm going to be okay to put some seeds in with this. And I'm going to chop this a little finer than I did with the red one, just to get more coverage in the dish. The red ones, everyone should figure out. I'm going to tell everybody who tries this, if you don't like the heat, don't eat the red. Got to remember to show you what I'm doing here. Let's plonk those in. So now we got our jalapenos and our red chili pepper. Oh, smell the freshness of those peppers. That's incredible. Man, this is starting to seem like a, woo, could well be the finest dip ever. But don't resist the temptation to do things the right way and do what you promised and add some shallot. I almost forgot, but hey, at least we remembered now. So let's just check out this shallot here. It's been around for a while, but it's still nice and fresh. Just take the skin off. I don't want the shallot to overpower the onion from the soup powder. I just want it to kind of enhance that flavor. So I think I'm going to just cut this in half and do just a few slices and dices that we can throw in there. Not many. It will be a nice kind of a undertone that will kick this up another level. So you can see that dices really easy. Such a messy board, but that's the way I cook. And then we're just going to pick up these little pieces and throw them all over the place. That will just kind of, ooh, people will go, ooh, what's that? I taste, what is it? That they probably won't. They probably just won't notice. But hey, I need to get rid of that shallot. Okay, I'm not going to add lemon at this stage. I'm going to wait, taste it when it's finished in the fridge, and then decide if lemon will help anything at all. I like lemon, but let's see. I don't want to add it now and have it thin things out either. So I'm just going to make a lot of noise, pack that down, and cover this with some wrap of some kind. Stick it in the fridge for 30 to 60 minutes. Long as not too much problem. Don't let it dry out. Don't do it overnight, I don't think. Let's do it. All right. Whoop, there we go. Very nice. I'm supposed to cut that end with the box or a knife, but hey, we're all friends here, aren't we? Okay, I'm going to put this in the fridge. Gives me an opportunity to clean up and make things presentable again. I'll see you back here in 30 to 60 minutes, whatever I can stand. Welcome back. It's been about 35 minutes. I'm hungry. I can't wait to try this. So let's get it out of this dish. This is how it looks. The time in the oven, the time in the fridge is to firm it up, but also to let those flavors mingle. So that 30 to 60 minutes is enough. It's going to make it really stand out. All right, without further ado, let's dig in. Oh yeah, I love the texture already. Nice and thick. Oh, I can see all that goodness and the peppers. Oh, man, it looks good. There we go. It's in a smaller bowl, of course, for presentation. Let's put that there. Now, to try it, to eat it this evening, I prepared earlier some extra crispy cuts from a baguette, from a French roll. These are made really crispy so that the dip doesn't soften them. They'll stay crispy. You'll hear that when I try it. I got some tortilla chips and some little Triscuit things, some little thin Triscuit biscuit, dip it, Triscuit. These have some garlic flavor in them. I don't like garlic in this dip. I think it works better without, but you can put garlic, of course, on your accoutrement and see how it tastes. So, without further ado, is this the best dip ever? It might be. I'm going to start with the crispy, crunchy. I'm going to be posh and use a knife. And I can see already that I can get a nice hunk of jalapeno there. And the red pepper down below is mixed in. But let me just make sure I get a little bit on top. Stand by for the crunch. If you don't like crunching sounds, turn down the sound. If you do like crunching sounds, turn up the sound. Let's see how this tastes. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's everything you'd imagine. It's got the heat from the peppers. The beef kind of melts in. The corned beef melts in, and it's just a flavor. It's not big chunks of corned beef. In fact, I'm going to try this alone, just on the fork. My goodness, I can imagine we could put this on a baked potato. We could put it with a salad. Wow. Oh, wow. It's awesome. You could add hot sauce to this. As I said before, you can change this up with your favorite flavors. One thing I'm thinking about is, does it need the lemon? I don't think I'd put lemon in it. I think what I would do is put lemon to the side so that each person dipping can decide. So what I'm going to do with this one is add a little squeeze of lemon, complete with a pit. Let's get that out of there and give this a try with the lemon. Yeah. I actually really like the lemon. It really lifts the flavor. So, hey, you want to put the lemon on the top, leave the lemon to the side, that's up to you. I urge you to try this. It's extra, extra tasty, very impressive. Dip, put it on top of stuff, try it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe, hit that bell. You're always welcome right here in the Watch It Cook It kitchen, and we'll see you next time.